Okay, welcome. And now we've done across the pond before, you and I, and we had a blast, and we'll hopefully have the same today. Now, we were just talking about traditions, and you mentioned in England that we have tea around about 4 o'clock, which is tea with cream and scones. And then you shocked me when you mentioned something that you have in the States. Because I mentioned Mars bars, I mentioned deep fried Mars bars, and you've mentioned. Can you hear me?
I mentioned deep fried butter. I can hear you just.
Right, okay. And good morning, Bob.
So there's a slight delay, right?
Yeah, there is a slight delay, which we'll work through. And hopefully, we had technical problems earlier. We tried to come out from Smile Time and nothing was happening there. If you can see us on Facebook and you make the comment, then today on Across the Pond, we can reply to you. So if you have any questions about anything that's happening on the UK side or the USA side, then please do. Now, the first thing that you wanted to discuss, Charlene, is voting, because there's an election next Tuesday, isn't there?
Okay. Yes, there is. There's a presidential election here in the US. It's an important election. So what would you like to know?
Right, okay, you mentioned it, early voting, getting out to vote, and people must do.
Oh, well, yeah, because well, first off, get out and vote. It is important. It is something that here in the US, so many don't seem to take seriously. For some reason, don't understand that not everybody can vote for a representative of themselves, a country, their state, what have you, that we have here in the US. And somehow I know many people who have this apathy. And in any society that has a representative government like we do, apathy is what will kill us. So I encourage everybody to get up to speed on the issues, get up to speed on whomever candidates are there, or whoever they may be, figure out what do they stand for in those issues, and if they match what you want for the country that you're in, show up and place your vote. Be a part of it. It's either that, or if you don't vote, you can't complain. So
true. We've got the same rules in this country as well, and we've had some voting take place this year. But as you say, it is important. Everybody has the right to vote, and if you don't use it, then that's your own fault, and you can't complain with the result. Although, doesn't mean you have to be happy with the result, but at least you've known that you've done your bit. Okay, now I'm just going to take my life in both hands here, and I'm just going to refresh my page because I can't see what's happening. So just give me a second, I'll be back.
now, I will say this one little thing that Stephen said is that everybody has a right to vote.
I'm back. And Charlene, could you
I tend to think that everybody has a privilege to vote.
Right, yeah.
Yes, you're back.
I'm back, and I can see you now, and I can see your lips moving. Before I just had a picture. It was like
moving lips.
It was like freeze frame. Now, one of the things that we're going to talk about today is charity and the importance of charity and the importance of giving. And there is an event in the UK, and you have an event in the States as well. Now, the 29th of November is a Tuesday, and it's Giving Tuesday in the UK, and it's an opportunity to actually get involved in helping charity. Now, how can you do that? Giving Tuesday is the hashtag, so you can follow the hashtag on Tuesday the 29th, but you can also, if you go to the Giving Tuesday website, and it's givingtuesday.org.uk, and I'll put a link in the notes later. If you go to the website, you can get more involved, and you can shop good stuff. There are shops which are donating to charity if you buy on the day. You can bake good stuff, and you could have a bake sale on the day, or you could film good stuff and promote it on the day. The other thing that you can do is you can actually tweet out on the day, and you can promote. And obviously, the other thing you can do as well is donate. So that's Giving Tuesday, which in the UK is on the 29th of November. And it's the opportunity to give to charities as we head towards the time of year when money is important to charities. So I would suggest that you check out the website. I will put the link in the page later. And Giving Tuesday, 29th November. Now, on your side of the pond, there is an event as well, isn't there?
There is. November is Thanksgiving, right? And so we have, as a country, have a federal holiday, which simply means that it affects wages if you work for somebody else, right? You get into overtime. Thanksgiving falls on the 24th. It's usually the fourth Thursday of the month, and I'm double checking that the 24th is the fourth Thursday. That's all I'm doing. It's the fourth Thursday. It's declared as, and it was declared many, many, many years ago as a day for communities to gather, for families to gather, a day of remembrance for giving thanks. To do it over breaking bread of some sort. Traditionally, it's a turkey, but not all families go with that tradition. But those that can gather and have that specific day for giving thanks. Now, in addition to that, that's just a recognized holiday here in the U.S. Many, many, many countless people and groups view November as a month of gratitude. And they often begin with challenges. You'll see it on social media sometimes. You may see somebody doing a Facebook Live and they'll say it's day one, because of course it's November 1st, day one of the challenge. And they'll start talking and you'll hear that what they're talking about is, what are they grateful for? What are they thankful for? And I think it's a fantastic way to give forward, all right? Because to me, I've always viewed gratitude as a verb. And by expressing it verbally, it's the beginning. But what can happen is when you express it verbally, you start acting as if you're grateful, which is interesting, right? It's interesting in that you can tell me all day long that you're grateful, but your behavior can show that you're just an ungrateful SOB, right? You know it's true. I can tell by your behavior. To me, it's the equivalent of somebody pounding the podium telling me, or the, up on stage telling me how humble they are because of the things that have happened in their life, right? Well, that activity clearly expresses they're not that humble. So to me, gratitude's very much the same way. What I like about the expression, especially in social media, where there are challenges, is it gets everybody thinking about it. If you've never given conscious thought to being grateful, hearing somebody else talk about what they're grateful for and how they think about being grateful can affect you in a positive way. And you can see that those who express verbally oftentimes behave in an attitude of gratitude, how they treat others, how they behave in public, how they behave on social media. Do they behave themselves? Are they respectful? So what I like about this being a month of gratitude is that I am mindful of my own behavior. And it's a moment to take pause and say to yourself, really, what is it that I have emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, that I can be grateful for? And that can put us in a place of peace and a place of giving that goes right along with the 29th in the UK. So it puts us all in an attitude of thinking about others, of doing for others, which is actually a pretty good place to be.
I totally agree. I mean, and I take your point there. That if you verbalize something and you actually and come on video with it, then you're actually committing to doing it, aren't you?
Well, if you're not, the people watching you will do it for you. There it is. Whether you're not, you may not consciously be committing to it, but you're right. You know, if you come on video and you talk about this stuff, people are now watching you, and you're going to be held accountable for what you're talking about.
That's very true, very true. But because the counter to that is commerce, isn't it? And Black Friday is a commercial event. Can you explain more about Black Friday?
Well, Black Friday traditionally is the national shopping day. My understanding is that Black Friday came about right after our Depression as a way to help really jumpstart the economy and get money flowing in the economy. And Black Friday is where the big sales happen at your retail stores. The advertising starts, the shopping traditions were set 100 years ago, not quite 100 years ago. And honestly, I had a tradition in my family. My mother did all of her Christmas shopping on Black Friday. Now, this is going back, 20, probably 30, before I was married, so 30 some odd years ago. And it was get up at 4 in the morning, get to the mall or to the store by 5 o'clock in the morning, which is when they opened. The crowds were not outrageously stupid and crazy until about 6 o'clock.
Right.
But by then you'd already gotten the big deal item that you wanted to get. And by noon, it was time for lunch.
Yep.
And we got home by 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we were loaded down with packages, and it was great fun, actually, because it was all about, it wasn't so much as finding the deal as it was about finding the right gift for that person.
Right.
So we always had the list of what we had our A list, and just in case they were out because it was a big deal, we had our B list. And so it was thinking about that other person, right? It was always about, well, I can't wait to give this, or I'm going to get this for dad, or I want to make sure that my brother has this, make sure grandma has this. Mom, what is it that you're really eyeing so that I can come back later? And it was a wonderful tradition at the time. Today, it's still moving forward. And yes, the focus now truly is on commerce in terms of, again, keeping the economy going, keeping the cash flow moving forward. People have also been conditioned through the advertising that Black Friday is when you are going to have the big sales in the store. Yep. Having said that, you know about Black Monday now, don't you?
No.
Oh, well, so let me introduce you to Black Monday. Black Friday is in the stores, Black Monday is online.
Okay.
And It was actually started, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is it began with Amazon. And they decided that they would do a Black Monday and to counteract, right?
Yeah.
So what this really means is, now, here's another aspect to it. Thanksgiving is Thursday.
Yep.
Black Friday is the Friday immediately after. Generally speaking, people have both days off of work. Generally speaking. Black Monday, everybody's at work. Cyber Monday. Thank you, Barb. Thank you. I knew Cyber Monday is what it's called. So Monday, not a whole lot of work gets done because there are people in the offices scurrying on their various devices trying to catch the deals, right? Because they have their alerts set, so phones are going off because the pricing went to this, the pricing went to that, right? Specials. So Cyber Monday.
Cyber Monday. Well,
but again, no, wait a second.
Yeah, sure.
Being commerce, the point is to, again, get the economy flowing, get that cash flow happening. And it's all the cycle of spend and get in the cash arena, because you're supporting the stores when you're purchasing your items, that are supporting the employees that have money now to spend elsewhere because they've been staffing and received their wages. So it's part of the flow.
So,
Lower commerce.
it boosts the local economy if you buy local, and it
Yes.
boosts the national economy if you buy from the big players. Right. Okay.
Yes, I think there's a positive effect all the way around.
Okay. Now, by accident, we find ourselves on BeLive.tv today, which is why we can see everything that you post on Twitter on this page, and we can respond to it. So I'd like to say welcome to Bob, Michelle, John, and on the page itself to Mott. Thank you all for joining us. And if you have anything to say, if you've got any questions at all, then please do type them in on Facebook, and Charlene and I will respond to them. Now, this week, Charlene and I are together because it's a very special day for Leland. So I just want to give a shout out to Leland and Jenna on their wedding anniversary, which is why Leland is not here today. But I'm grateful that Charlene is, because we always have a great time. Now, we're discussing topics on both sides of the pond, and one that's come up on the UK side, which is relevant to the US as well, is that the UK government is going to spend nearly $3 billion on cybersecurity. Because the situation is that I saw a map the other day which frightened the life out of me. We know that Twitter was attacked a week last Friday, and we also the results of that. And other sites went down as well, Spotify. But these hacks don't happen at random; they're happening all the time, and it's just the fact that the defences can't cope with them. The defences fall down, and attacks get through, and so they need to respond because, for one thing, they could attack something as serious as air traffic control, and if air traffic control was attacked, then, well, you don't want to think of it, do you, really? And you'll be spending a similar amount in the States, if not more.
Now, you're talking a number I'm not familiar with, but yes, I know that there has been dedicated effort to deploy cybersecurity at the federal level, as well as to take what that security is to the national level, meaning that government agencies and that which has high security needs is being addressed. And that which is happening there is trickling to the rest of us, if you will. In terms of those who know how to do it, are now bringing it to market, are deploying it in our large e-commerce sites and our banking sites, and that non-government agencies.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah? It's a big deal.
During the attack, Facebook and Google were unaffected by it, and it shows that sort of users have got some work to do to catch up. As you say, they've got to get the software in. But on a personal level, this weekend, we have websites which are hosted by a friend on a co-hosted service, and that service was attacked, and the websites went down. So it's not nice, and it spent a lot of work for Babs. So I'd like to give a shout out to Babs for dealing with it so efficiently, because it must have been a pain in the derriere to sort out, an extra work which shouldn't be. And hackers are at the bane of our lives, and the fact that our government is spending money, we should be spending money as well, because you can get attacked. It's very real.
You can, and if you're on a shared server, if you are attacked, you become the doorway to other sites being attacked. So that's the interesting thing about being on a shared server, and it's almost a double importance to understand that by you leaving any doors open, you're letting others in for some surprises. I always viewed like I used to tell my clients that a shared server space was very much like having an apartment, and that your address, your domain name, your space on that server is just one of many. So in visualize an apartment complex, and you are in one space, you have somebody above, below, and to the side of each side of you. And when you look at it that way, you understand that, oh, okay, so if I am inviting, ne'er-do-wells into my space on my website, it can affect the others on that server. So
Yep,
It's another consideration.
it's like dominoes stacked. Yes, yes. So security we've got to look at. Now, just going back to my crib sheet, because we do sort of chat before the show. This is not totally hungry. Yes, we do have topics. And next topic I'd like to go on is are we gratitude and mindset? We've covered that.
Oh,
Yes.
gratitude and mindset?
Yeah.
No, we touched on that. We can go there if you want.
Oh, yes, surely, if we could.
Oh, I'll be happy to. So we all know that mindset is really, what are you thinking regularly? And that the thing that many don't understand is that you can control your thoughts. And I don't know why many can't understand that. I've never had an issue with that part. Just the way I'm made is I tend to be a thinker before I do anything. I'm not a reactor, right? But those who do tend to just react really benefit greatly from understanding that if you take a moment, take a breath, take a step back, anytime you feel something, right? Feel like you need to do something now, take a breath, take a step back, think it through first. Well, if you can train yourself to do that, what ends up happening is that you become, you're training yourself, you're conditioning yourself to think a particular way. Your thinking becomes, oh, I'm going to think first. Then what happens is that it becomes part of your subconscious. Because if you're thinking something regularly, it becomes part of your subconscious. So the mindset is, today we're talking about gratitude. The mindset of gratitude happens because not only are we thinking about it, I am physically thinking, doing, putting myself in the mode of gratitude. I'm being exposed to it as well by that which is surrounding me. So on social media, I see it. I will seek it out because that's my mindset. I'm looking for quotes about gratitude. I'm looking for readings about gratitude. I'm looking for something to learn a little bit about gratitude. So that's one way to look at it.
Indeed. I mean, the thing is, I looked at it this way. It's that if you follow the news, then the news is predominantly bad news. Good news doesn't get reported. We've had over the years a lot of newspaper startups and website startups saying we're only going to share the good news, and they have a problem because it's difficult to find it. But on social media, you can find somebody who's having success. You can find somebody who needs help. You can find somebody who wants you to listen. Simply to listen to somebody is an act that helps people, isn't it?
It is. It is, but you're right. See, so if I have a website devoted solely to good news, it's not going to do exceptionally well. It will not do as well as that which has the bad stuff. It just doesn't. But on social media, you can seek out and find groups and places that are positive, that are focused on change, on moving forward, on being better. You know, can I mention my Facebook group?
Of course you can.
For instance, only because that's what its focus is. It's called the Grow Alliance. And it's all about let's move forward with the day on purpose, with purpose, to grow our hearts, grow our minds, and grow our businesses. This does not mean negative doesn't happen. It doesn't mean that the bad in the world doesn't happen. It's not a place of only positive and only good things are stated. What it is, though, is it's recognizing that part of the human condition is we feel badly, we act badly, we respond negatively because of what's happening in the world. How can we do that differently so that we are better in the long run, right? So we recognize that I can change my thinking, which can change my feelings, which can change my behavior. I choose to look at this a little differently. Instead of continual bad feed coming in, I'm choosing instead to look at something positive coming out of it. I'm instead of, like, for instance, is today's mindset posting was about how to extract positive out of a negative situation, and you do it on purpose. You know, that no matter what is happening, there can be a positive out of it, even if it's sitting still and not reacting badly, and later being able to look back and learn from it. So you can seek out places like that, and what that can do is help gird you so that you almost have this shield against the negativity that goes on around you.
Indeed. I mean, we had just 40 minutes ago, we had a situation which was beyond frustrating. As we tried to go, I mean, simple one, we tried to go live on Facebook and we did 4 attempts and didn't make it. And it's by happenstance that we're on Be Live today, which means if you are watching us live on Facebook, you can type in a message, we will see it. And in addition to that, this is very important. If you want to advertise anything, type the text in and we'll show it on the screen, and it will then be in the recording on YouTube. So it'll be there forever.
Put it in now. Put it in now, whatever it is.
Well, let's get people stirred up. I mean, it is a situation where this is always evolving, and this Be Live site has only been around for 2.5 weeks, but it is very stable, and it goes to Facebook straight away, and it does integrate in the Facebook feed, so we can actually see it, and you can see a green number at the top right, and that shows how many people are actually watching at the moment. That's one integration, and the second integration is with the Facebook feed, which you can see and comment on. I had a very interesting discussion with, I did the 5 shows yesterday, and as a result, I got what can best be described as a hot lead. So I spoke to him and I said, right, okay, do you want to try out Be Live? And he said yes. And we got into a tangle because he wanted to comment on the Facebook post from here. So what I'm going to test now is I'm going to test commenting. And I'm going to see if my comment, which I'm making here, turns up on Facebook. Okay,
so
we'll check that later.
As somebody who's broadcasting,
yep,
can you comment is what you're looking to see.
That's it. It says it's appeared in the last week or so, because it certainly wasn't there before. These things evolve, and it said I can comment. So theoretically,
I didn't see anything.
Oh, right, okay.
Just so you know.
Oh, right, okay. Well, obviously, it's a feature that's not working yet. What I can do is I can type in here, and if I press return, it will come up on screen. And I've got a spelling right as well. So I can type messages in, and at some point in the future, we can see that we're actually going to be able to comment as well, which would be good.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
I'll trust you on that, because I'm not seeing anything on my screen here.
Well, the thing is that
I'm on the Be Live screen. I'm not on Facebook.
Yeah, you're on the Be Live screen. Yeah, I agree. The screen that it would be ideal if we could co-host this, because then, but they might do that down the road. But at the moment, there is a screen for myself as
You're the host,
producer and yourself as a co-presenter. The screen is slightly different. So when I say something is top left, it may well be top right, because I can't see both screens at the same time.
Okay.
Right, now, in other news this week, there is a change. We're introducing a new pound coin. Now,
oh, how interesting.
This is, we're going back to being hacked. This is to stop counterfeiting. It's a 12-sided coin, and I wish I could bring a picture on here. If anybody has a picture and can post a link who's watching this, then it'll be good. So the coin is changing, not because of you know, the old one is bad, but because the new one is less liable to be counterfeited. Because
what else is happening other than that it's 12-sided?
Oh, right, okay, just let me check out.
Because
okay,
surely that's not that alone. I mean, you can create a stamp, a mold from 12 sides. That's
right, okay. Apparently, 1 in 30 £1 coins are counterfeit.
Oh my!
So 3% of the currency in pounds is actually counterfeit. So that's that is, well, as you said, pretty big. So that's another measure which is being taken. Right. Okay. Now, we do weekly when we're on the show do tech news, and it's been quite a week, hasn't it?
Oh, and tech news?
Yeah.
It has. It has. Well, between the destruction of, service, the DoD attacks, right? Where
Yeah.
the entire internet on the east coast of the USA was pretty much attacked. And as you say, you had sites that you're familiar with and knowing that were down for a while. Was that the same time that the DoD's was happening?
No,
with,
no, this was
a different issue?
different. It was a lone hacker.
No, this was a group, and that was fun. But it did bring to mind, right, the cybersecurity. It brought to mind protecting against hackers, and just how much effort do you want to put forth, how much money do you want to put forth, and what do you need? It's all dependent on the kind of site that you have, if you ask me. Some sites just really aren't important enough to warrant putting a lot of money into security efforts, whereas other sites, e-commerce especially, or those that house personal information of other people, absolutely. You need to have as much security as possible. Let's see, what other tech news do we have? We had ICANN, didn't that come out of US control?
Oh, yes, it did.
Yeah. That ought to be interesting to see what happens there and how many extensions they're going to allow beyond .coms and .moves and .works and
.live. And, yeah, I mean, a number of people we know have got the.
Good luck with the taxonomy on that, people. The organizer researcher in me is saying, oh, what a nightmare those databases are going to be.
Oh, yeah. Indeed. I mean, of course, the thing we forget is the internet is essentially free, isn't it?
Free to use. Yeah. It is. It is. And I think if we go one step further, what most people don't understand is that the internet isn't just a laying down of lines, right? Because I have a cable line for my telephone that's through my telephone. I have DSL, but then it's in actuality using somebody else's computer, somebody else's server, somebody else's network, somebody else's. It's this structure of everybody who's using it, accessing it. Now there's overlays and interlays that it is very complicated, actually. It's not a simple matter.
No.
Hardware, software, airware.
That's true. I mean, the other thing we have at the moment is we've got varying broadband speeds.
Yes.
Depending on where you live. It's chance. Yeah. If you live in
I'm limited. I'm limited unless I want to go with a satellite feed right now. And I prefer not to because the ping time is it's enough of a delay, it'll annoy me. Right now, for what I do, I'm okay with the limited speeds I have. I'm in a semi-rural area, so I only have one provider available. So I only have one choice, and that provider only offers 2 levels of speed, and they're not blazing by any stretch.
No, I have I don't know whether John's still watching, but John Upton, who does Gavin with me on Thursdays, he has a 200 megabyte. So we're all paupers compared to
I'm at 3. I'm thrilled to have up to.
I mean that's all we need to do.
Which really means 2.7, right?
Yeah, but it's brilliant enough to do live video.
It suffices for what we're doing. What it doesn't suffice for, though, and what I would really like to do is to live stream internet television. I'd like to use my Amazon Prime and watch movies and off my television in the front room, but I can't. There's not enough speed. You have to have a minimum of 5 meg in order for that to be even a possibility. And then I'm going to be annoyed when the traffic goes up. It just is. I can tell you when kids get home from school, and I can tell you when, right? Because there's only one provider, and That's just it.
Shared
But I'm really
connection.
not complaining, honestly. I'm not complaining. The price I pay is a fair price for what I'm getting. And when it becomes available, I am willing to pay more. There is opportunity for me to hodgepodge and patchwork a system that I could get up to 25 meg, I figured out pretty consistently. But it's just out of my price range right now. I've decided that I don't want to pay that right now. So.
No, I mean, the same is true of this live streaming as well. You can pay thousands or you can pay nothing, and it is a choice depending on what you want to do. I mean, the 5 sites I looked at yesterday, I was on, just to recap, I was on Be Live, which we're on today, which is free, and well, it's in beta. I was on Huzzer, broadcasting from there, and if it's just yourself broadcasting, then that is free. Then I went on to Blue Jeans, which is, have you been on Blue Jeans?
I've not been on Blue Jeans, but I've seen it in action.
Yeah, it is. I mean, in action, what do you think of the quality of it?
I'm impressed with the quality of it. What I saw, I didn't see any Blue Jeans broadcast that wasn't good.
Yeah.
In terms of clarity of sound and video.
No, it is the Rolls Royce, and we're waiting for prices on the 21st November, and we don't know what it's going to be. They did say that they will keep small to medium enterprises in mind when they did the pricing, but we've heard rumours, but I'm not going to speak rumours. We'll wait and see what happens. And the fourth one was Fire Talk, but Fire Talk doesn't go to Facebook, which is a problem. And then our favourite platform was Smile Time, which is where we started off today. And Smile Time is always going to be free for creators. If you're looking to create a show, then head over to Smile Time, and you'll be welcome with open arms, and Allegra and Alex will help you, as will Randall. And the thing is that, and we go back to the bad days, is that there's a great community around video.
Well, there's a great community around live stream.
Yeah.
You know, we want to, those of us that were so much a part of the other program that's no longer here, is you and others who are broadcasters and program producers are striving to find a program that, or a platform, not even a program, but a platform that allows for the same level of interaction that we've had before. And those of us that enjoyed that interaction are always watching you guys to see where you're going to be next. Because I don't consider myself a broadcaster, not yet anyway. I am considering doing it again because I'm being asked by my Facebook group and by others, could you do it again? And it was a daily program, and it was just, it's not fitting within my business model right now. And when I did do it, I did it for over a year. It served its purpose, which was for me personally, and it served its purpose. I did have a once a week program, a podcast, for over a year, quite a few years ago, and that's where I'm somewhat leaning towards right now. We'll see. I'm going to let you guys take care of all this stuff on the live stream right now. Show up when I'm asked, and enjoy seeing everybody and conversing with you and learning what's happening on the other side of the pond. And you know, that's just what I'm doing right now.
And well, the thing is, we enjoy doing it, and that's why we do it. And if, as you said earlier, it's mindset. And one of the things that buoys me up during the day is to come live on air and talk with people, not to people, and get a conversation going. And it's just brilliant. I mean, this is the best way to network. I mean, you talk about Facebook groups there. If you want to reach out to a group, the best way at the moment that I'd see is Be Live, because you can take it into the group with just yourself on video, and you can take questions and answers live. And there's, you know, we're looking for Smile Time to do the same, just a subtle hint out to Smile Time. But it's an exciting time to be involved, and well, we'd like to say thank you to the people who watched us today, and then we'll do a wrap.
Okay.
Would you like to say something?
About?
Just thank you to everybody who's watched.
Oh, Of course, of course. A big thank you to Leland and congrats, happy anniversary to he and Jenna. Thank you for thinking of me as the co-host. Thank you, Stephen, for bringing me on with you. It's always a pleasure learning about fried Mars bars and fried butter. That's what we started out with. Big, big shout out to everybody on Facebook. Thanks so much for stopping by and commenting. I'm still learning the platform, so I'm not sure who all is here, but I am glad that you are, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone is here today, and thank you to everybody who's commented and watched us, as Charlene said. And I'll try and persuade Charlene to do it. We'll do a show together, but we'll talk about it later, perhaps. Get you back in the groove. Yeah, not. I mean, it'd be good to have a chat around the subject of mindset and learn it quite a bit, because I'm a willing pupil, a good listener, and I'm sure that others will be as well, because we're reaching out not only, this is across the pond, reaching out not only to the USA, but to the UK as well, and to Europe. So thank you to everybody for watching. Charlene, it's been a pleasure, and thank you for joining me today. And we've had good fun, as usual, and after a hesitant start, we got off to a flying finish. So both see you next week, and goodbye for now.